Every year, Polk County Public Schools announce their Teacher and School-Related Employee of the Year. Polk County Public Schools recognizes finalists from all 7 districts, and the overall winners were announced at the Inspire Awards presented by Mid-Florida Credit Union. The Inspire Awards were held November 7th at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland. Now, Stephanie McCluskey, Lake Region High School, is regarded as a true cornerstone of the school's community. She works as a science interventionist, building relationships with students and developing strategies to help them unlock their full potential in the classroom. As a result, Lake Region High School has experienced significant gains in students' performances on biology assessments. Going to introduce you to somebody. That would be Stephanie McCluskey, and man, that's a great intro.
I love it. I love it.
I love our guys from the communications office, so they gave me all that information.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody that's been nominated, you guys are doing fantastic work.
You.
But congratulations on the nomination.
Thank you. I was very surprised.
Yeah.
I was very.
So let's talk a little bit about background.
Sure.
I understand you're a South Florida girl.
Yeah.
But you kind of came north and then put roots down in Polk County. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Sure, yeah. I'm originally from Fort Lauderdale. My mom decided to move up when I was in middle school. So I graduated from Hillsborough County, and then I decided to go to Florida Southern College. It was great, took the tour, and I'm like, this is where I want to go to school. It just felt like home. It literally felt like the Disney of colleges.
Yeah.
And so I graduated from there, and I actually got a job opportunity at a career fair while still at Florida Southern. And the principal at the time of Winter Haven High School was like, hey, like stepped out right in front of me. She's like, I need a biology teacher. I'm like, okay. So I talked to my advisor, and she was like, I think you should do it.
Yeah.
She's like, you have the personality, like, just go do it. I'm like, okay, why not? Like, I never thought I would get into teaching. And so after I talked to Dr. Morvillo, like, I literally envied her. She was just such a caring educator, one of the best professors I've ever had. And so I'm like, okay, if she told me to do it, I'm gonna do it. And then it just stuck. I found my passion for it, and I actually enjoyed showing kids how to do labs, just how I enjoyed doing them when I was in Florida Southern. So I thought I could show them and teach them the same passion that I had for the sciences.
When they do the STEM commercials, especially from the sciences, you are of the unique type, a female interested in the sciences. How do you prepare the students that you have to become as interested in that as you did?
I just try to make a connection with them. It all starts by trying to be intentionally inviting to the students. They all have pasts. They all want to learn something. It's just trying to figure out, how do I make this fit? But it's really getting to know them and then sharing a little bit about yourself. And then they want to know, like, hey, how did you get into this? Oh, I didn't know that, you know, you can go into all these different careers in the sciences. So one of our bulletin boards in the hallway is literally like careers in the sciences. And we have it in Spanish and Haitian Creole and in English as well for the students. So they're like, oh, what's a seismologist? I didn't know that marine biologists, you know, studied XYZ. So it's really just exposing them to the superficial parts of what science is and then showing them, okay, this is what you need to get there.
You took that background away from Polk County School Board and went to work for Florida Department of Health. Is that right?
Yep.
And then came back to us. Explain that transition.
Sure. So at the time, my grandfather was really ill, and it was getting really demanding on my family, so I left. He passed away shortly after that. And so I went into the Florida Department of Health, found a career. I just finished my master's. And they were like, hey, we really want you to work with bloodborne pathogens and communicable diseases. So I did that for a little bit. And then someone just drew me back. I'm like, hey, like, you know, I really enjoyed what I did. And I kind of took that part with me into my job at the health department, educating community members, stakeholders about communicable diseases through the tattoo prevention and bloodborne pathogens. But it just drew me back. I always wanted to help students find their way and find their passion and really believing them. Every profession comes from teaching. Doctors, lawyers, engineers.
And you found a new home, again, coming back to Polk County Public Schools at Lake Region High School.
I did.
School near and dear to my heart.
Awesome.
But talk to me a little bit about your new home there.
Sure. Mrs. King is an awesome leader. I love working for a strong woman. She saw something in me. She interviewed me. She's like, hey, I really want you in this position. I really want you to help these students and to kind of build this community to help these students be passionate about science and then increase the scores in biology. So that's exactly what I did. Got to work first day, like kept moving. And in my head, I'm like, oh, it'll slow down. And it never does. You know, you're teaching, you never get that time. So I got to work building relationships with the students. Underneath this administration, there's been a large Haitian immigrant population coming into the school. So I was fortunate that as a child, my mom made sure we didn't lose our culture, and she made sure that we went back to Haiti every summer. And we did up until the earthquake in 2008. And you know, I had that relationship with my family there, learned to speak the language and appreciate my culture as a Haitian American. And now I get to build that relationship with the students coming here, and just making sure they feel welcomed and they're home away from home, because a lot of them are in the science classes. My Spanish is not that great, even though I got a minor in Spanish. I try to practice very well. I speak with my students when I can, and they're always correcting me. They're like, Miss, it's ah, not oh at the end, everything masculine and feminine from those Latin languages. But everything, it doesn't matter what language or what subject area, everything really starts with building those relationships with the students. And so I always try to find something in common with them.
You mentioned building relationships, and kind of as we were talking before the cameras started rolling, you talked about the relationships that you had with the professors where you went to school at Florida Southern and still maintain those relationships. Talk to me about how you've tried to do that same thing and doing the same thing with the students that you teach.
Sure. Like you said, you know, STEM doesn't typically have a lot of women in the field, and so I really gravitated toward those other women. So Dr. Bromfield, still at Florida Southern, super smart. She was my organic chemistry professor. I was never challenged so hard in my life to earn a B, and I just really appreciated how much she made us feel uncomfortable to grow, because you don't really get those experiences to learn until you're forced to be out of your comfort zone. And so I really appreciated her for forcing us to, like, no, you can do better. You can do hard things. And just because it's hard, it doesn't mean that you're not capable of attaining these things. And so her, along with Dr. Morvillo, also she's still at Florida Southern as the department chair for biology. And she just showed me, like, hey, Stephanie, you should do this. I know you want to study this. And she would just have genuine, transparent conversations with me. I would tell her what I wanted to do. She's like, yes, we could do this. Let's make this happen. When I did my research project as a senior, she was, like, always supportive. And I'm like, my goodness, this woman has her own family, and I just see her all the time, and she was always there. Door was never closed, always there to answer questions. And I'm like, I want to be that for somebody, because it just really makes all the difference in any student's life. Just having someone to go to besides your parents that you can vent, talk to about your friend issues, or just like, hey, I'm just not having a good day, and just being that positive force in their life. You've
mentioned where you were inspired, and this is what you want to do. Have you had that moment yet in your career where you're like, yeah, this is exactly? Is there a great story that comes along with going, yeah, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life? Is there an aha moment?
So to your point, you know, as an educator, you get up every day, you're like, okay, I'm going to teach this great lesson, and the kids are going to get it, and they're all going to get 100s. And then you come back, and you're like, I did so well teaching this lesson, and they got it. And you get the test grade, you're like, okay, maybe not. And so even then, you're maybe looking for a perfect bell curve. And you're like, okay, well, if it's a bell curve, then at least the average did well. But from time to time, you always get like at least one a year. Yeah. You get this letter, or maybe you get a student pull you to the side, and it's unprompted completely. And whether it was for the lesson or not, teaching the kids just life skills, learning how to speak to each other, learning how to be respectful, learning how to be a citizen that gives back to your community. And they're like, you know what, miss, I never thought about that. Thank you so much for showing me what it is to give back and to be altruistic or to care about other people. And you're just like, wow, that just one student just lights up your heart, and you're like, you know what, this is why I teach. This is just one moment right here. And you might not get it every year, but you always get at least that one student that makes you feel like, you know what, this is why I do what I do. This is why I wake up every morning. This is why I stay well past my work hours at night, in the evening, working, taking my work home with me. My husband's like, oh my gosh, babe, like you're always on the computer. And so those students that, you know, whether they tell you or not, you see them grow so much while you have them in your life, and those are the moments.
So the nomination, when you found out about it, everything that I've heard so far, everybody talks about the sneak attack. Tell me about how they drew you in, kept you away, and then all of a sudden, surprise!
No, literally, that's exactly what it was. So I was actually on duty, just, locking, unlocking doors. And then one of my admin, Miss Rachel Chase, she calls me on the radio. She's like, hey, can you come over here for a second? We have XYZ. And then Mrs. King intercepted me, and she's like, hey, I want to talk to you about when you're going to be pushing into the classes, helping the students with remediation. I'm like, sure. So I'm just talking, like showing her my lessons, walking through my room, asking her feedback. And she's like, yeah, this is great. This is great. And I'm like, I just felt, this, or like something's different. And I'm like, Mrs. King, the bell rang. I think I have to go on duty. She's like, no, you're good. And I'm like, okay. She's like, we're going to go down to the cafeteria. I was like, okay. And I literally asked her, I'm like, am I getting fired? I mean, I felt like something was going on. And so we're walking, just making casual conversation about the day-to-day. And I hear the band. And I'm like, okay. And then I see confetti, and I'm like, okay. And I see my grandmother who lives in Fort Lauderdale, and I'm like, okay, y'all got me. But I still don't know what's going on. I'm just like blindly kind of walking. And I finally get to the end, and I see the banner, and it says finalists, and I'm like, I don't know. I just was having a moment. I was really slow. Didn't know what was going on. Finally, I'm like, oh, like, this is a thing. Like, this is a literal thing. And so, yeah, I was completely bamboozled. Whole department there, family there, utter surprise, but it was definitely worth it.
I love the word bamboozled.
Yes, definitely bamboozled.
Yeah, so as we've talked, we've heard about professors and teachers in Tampa, professors here at Florida Southern, and of course your staff. This is probably the first of many accolades that you're going to receive, but you didn't get here alone. Talk to me about the people that helped you get to this point in your life.
Sure, and like I said, Dr. Brownfield and Dr. Morvillo were really great, powerful women in my life that kind of showed me like, hey, women can do STEM and they do it well, and this is what it looks like, and you don't have to cower, you don't have to be afraid. Like this might not be an easy field for everybody, and there were some people that definitely got weeded out, but like this is something that I was passionate about, and they kind of just showed me different avenues and things to be of interest, and I just was very inspired by how much they cared about my own education, and how much how much buy-in they had, because I mean initially we didn't have a relationship, so it went from that to like emailing and being Facebook friends and messaging and asking life advice and just keeping up with each other. But I just genuinely appreciated who they were as people and then who they were to me. And so I thought that I could help other students see what they showed me. And so that's why I thought it would be a great idea to be an educator, not just an educator, but an educator in the sciences, in a field that a lot of people don't feel passionate about, men, women, whomever. Yeah. But I got that from them, and now working with my staff who are also very smart, people of different walks of life. Dr. Alcock is so amazing. Like, she just gets up and just helps these kids with whatever. She teaches them sign language. She teaches all kinds of life skills. And we forget that, maybe the kids don't do this or they don't do that, but at the end of the day, these reading skills and life skills and interpersonal skills are things that they take well beyond the classroom. Miss Moya is awesome. She writes wonderful letters of recommendation for all the students. So just having those other people in my life and working with them and my cohorts, just kind of like, okay, this is the group of people that I work with. This is the group that I belong in, birds of a feather. But we're all different in our own ways, but we all bring something awesome to the table and just kind of push each other forward to do good things for the kids, of course.
Well, I want to thank you for coming in today, and really proud of the work that you've done, and really happy to showcase your efforts within the community and let the community know that there are great teachers like you out there. So thanks for coming in, all right?
I appreciate you.
That's going to do it for our conversation with Stephanie McCluskey. We invite you to check out our talks with the other finalists in the entire Inspire Award show. You need more information? Go to polkschoolsfl.com or follow them on Facebook at Polk County Public Schools.